There is an invisible pattern that destroys prosperity before a person even realizes it. Work goes on. The routine seems normal, but something has already started breaking inside. The Bible describes this with frightening precision, not as religion, but as human patterns that have repeated themselves for thousands of years. And the most dangerous part is that almost no one notices the beginning of the fall, because great losses begin silently. Today, you will discover the 7 codes that block prosperity, clarity, and growth. Invisible codes: mental, spiritual, behavioral. Prosperity is not just about money. In the Bible, prosperity has always been connected to direction, wisdom, and awareness. The problem is that almost no one recognizes the signs, and when the pattern finally appears in the visible world, it is already advanced. Intelligent people repeat mistakes, repeat cycles. They make impulsive decisions. They ignore clear signs. Code 1. Dishonoring what has value. Esau sells his inheritance for a bowl of lentils. Genesis 25, from 29 to 34. Esau did not lose his inheritance in a war. He lost it in an emotional moment. People begin to lose when they stop recognizing value. Esau's mistake was not hunger. It was trading the future for impulse. Decoding. All prosperity requires the perception of value. Those who do not value time waste opportunities. Those who do not value process look for shortcuts. And emotional shortcuts almost always demand an invisible price later. Application. Perhaps you have already done this without realizing it. Trading growth for distraction. Trading discipline for immediate comfort. Trading long-term vision for quick pleasure. The problem is not what you lose immediately. It is what you stop building. Because great falls begin silently. Code 2. Scarcity Mindset. The people of Israel in the wilderness, Numbers 13 and 14. Even after leaving Egypt, they remained mentally trapped. A person changes environments, but does not change mindset. Decoding. A scarcity mindset makes a person see threat in every opportunity. They live expecting to lose, and those who live expecting to lose make defensive decisions all the time. This destroys growth, because prosperity requires expansion, and expansion requires confidence. Application. How many people let opportunities pass because of fear? Fear of failure, fear of judgment. The problem is not lack of ability, it is an excess of invisible fear. This is not coincidence, it is a pattern. Code 3. Self-sabotage. Samson and Delilah, Judges 16. Samson had extraordinary strength, but he could not control his own impulses. Many people lose not because of lack of talent, but because of excessive emotional instability. Decoding. Self-sabotage almost never looks like destruction in the beginning. It looks like small compromises, procrastination, constant distractions. The pattern always warns before the fall. Application. Perhaps your greatest limitation today is not your environment, but in the habits you repeat daily. Because discipline builds what motivation cannot sustain. Code 4. Contaminated environments. Lot chooses Sodom. Genesis 13. Lot chose based on appearance and immediate advantage. Everything looked like prosperity, until the environment began to distort his perception. Decoding. Environments shape behavior silently. Negative conversations, people without direction. Over time, what is wrong starts to seem normal, and that is how many blockages begin. Application. Observe the environments that consume your energy. Social media, friendships, routines. Because proximity creates patterns. The problem is not only where you are, it is what you are becoming. Code 5. Disguised pride. The fall of King Saul. 1 Samuel 15. Saul began humbly, but he lost everything when he stopped listening. And here is the dangerous detail. Pride rarely appears as obvious arrogance. Sometimes it appears as silent resistance. Decoding. Stagnant people usually repeat the same logic. I already know. I've always done it this way. And this is where prosperity begins to die. Application. Those who do not learn repeat cycles. Those who do not listen lose direction. And many people are not without results because they lack opportunity. They are without results because they lost mental flexibility. First, the mind hardens, then life gets stuck. Code 6. Repeated cycles. The 40 years in the wilderness. Deuteronomy 8. The wilderness was never just a physical place. It was a pattern of repetition. The same complaints, the same fear, the same decisions. Decoding. What is not learned returns. This happens in relationships, in financial life, in emotional health. Application. Observe the cycles that always return. The same mistakes, the same pain, the same endings. Because as long as the pattern is not identified, it continues controlling the direction of your life. Code 7. Disconnection from purpose. Solomon and the emptiness of existence. Ecclesiastes 2. Solomon had wealth, influence, and power. Even so, he declared, everything is meaningless. This statement is not only about wealth, it speaks about inner emptiness. Decoding. The greatest blockage to prosperity is not lack of money, it is lack of meaning, because when purpose disappears, discipline disappears, clarity disappears, energy disappears. A person continues functioning externally, but empty inside. Application. Perhaps you are not just tired. Perhaps you are emotionally disconnected from what gives meaning to life, and without purpose, even achievements lose their meaning. Prosperity was never only about money. It has always been about invisible patterns, because many downfalls begin when life still seems normal. The pattern always warns before it demands payment. Now the question is, which of these codes is already operating silently in your life? If this video opened your perception, subscribe to the channel, because there are other hidden codes in the Bible that still control human behavior to this day, and almost no one notices. 7 minutes of wisdom, a lifetime of results. This was today's code. Ancient code, what has always been there, but almost no one noticed.